For the ultrasonic sensor, we only need the Arduino, the breadboard once again, and we need the module. Basically, we're going to use a couple of wires, a couple of jumpers to connect everything, and that's pretty much it. As you can see here, the ultrasonic has exactly 4 different pins. VCC, which goes to positive, GND, which goes to negative. We have trigger and we have echo. So in that case, there in the screen, I'm going to plug here. The red cable goes directly to 5 volts in the Arduino, and the black cable goes directly to GND in the Arduino. So I'm going to connect them to the breadboard to make sure here. I'm going to connect VCC, which is the first pin here, to the positive in the breadboard. I'm going to connect negative, which is GND, to the negative in the breadboard. And I'm going to connect my 2 signals, echo and trigger. In this case, trigger goes plugged to number 6. Trigger is this one. I'm going to connect it with another color. So trigger goes to 6. And echo goes connected to 5. So I'm going to connect echo to 5. And this is the way you connect the ultrasonic sensor. Well, for the ultrasonic sensor, I have a longer code. We'll have a longer code. To begin, we have to declare the pins where we're connecting everything to the Arduino. They are constant because we're not gonna change those pins. That will never change. And trigger will be plugged in 6. Echo is plugged in 5. So we have to declare them there. Declare them at the beginning of the code. Then on the void setup, this is a sensor, but it has 2 pins, and the way the sensor works is that it sends a wave and then it receives that wave, and that depends on both of the pins. So trigger basically sends the wave, and then echo receives that wave, and then we can calculate the distance of an object in front. So trigger is an output and echo is an input. Then I have to start the serial monitor because I will see the measures in the serial monitor of the computer. Then what would be repeated every single time? I have to turn on the trigger. I have to turn off the trigger. So trigger is low, and then I will wait 2 microseconds. This number doesn't really matter, but we have to put it here. So I will keep the trigger off for 2 microseconds. Then I will turn it on, and I'm gonna wait 10 microseconds. The reason why waiting 10 microseconds is because of the speed of the wave. Then I have to create a new variable called t, whatever name, and I have to send that after 10 microseconds after we send the wave, I'm gonna check the pulse in using my echo. So that means I'm going to activate echo. 10 microseconds later, I'm going to receive the wave that was sent here, and then I will say that the variable distance would be equal to this variable divided into 2 because the wave has to go and come back, and that divided into 29.1 because it's a constant that is related to the speed of the wave. So all this is necessary. Every single time we have to work with the ultrasonic sensor, this is necessary to calculate the distance at the end. Then I'm gonna say that the serial monitor will print the distance, and finally after the distance, after we print the variable, I'm gonna print the space and centimeters, so I will know that the distance is measured in centimeters, and that will happen every 300 milliseconds, which is something like 3 times per second. And all this has to be repeated over and over again, but as you can see here, it takes 2 microseconds, here it takes 10, so it's pretty much nothing. What we're really using in time is 300 microseconds, so I'm going to be printing distance like 3 times per second. So in a we have to measure the distance by using a flat surface. I already uploaded the code here in the computer, so I'm gonna check the serial monitor. Right now the ultrasonic sensor is pointing nowhere. That's the reason why I have that measure on the screen. But as soon as I place the flat surface in front, it starts showing me the information, and as you can see in the code, the delay is 300. That means that it is showing a measure 3 times per second or something like that. So as you can see, if I move the eraser here near, it says 452. If I move it here, for example, it is in 510, let's say, and if I move it 1 centimeter there, it is in 6.3 or something like that. Depending on the distance, it will be updated.